This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is my friend Katie Wolf from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's so nice to see you. Even though we're social distancing, it's so wonderful to see you. And I know that even though Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary isn't open, I know in my heart and soul that you're working very busily behind the scenes.
We are. I think the whole team is really knocking themselves out to keep things rolling behind the scenes. And you know, it's funny when you do work from home or you're working remotely. Every little task you do has extra steps to it.
Yes.
But everybody's sticking in there, and things are moving along. I think there's a couple of our staff out today. We're only putting the shallow buoys in right now because part of the impact of COVID is, on the lungs, and so we have to be very, very careful that our divers, practice the absolute most particular.
Very good.
To make sure that there's no unintended consequences.
And now you have to follow state guidelines and federal guidelines. So what are those doing towards you getting ready to open?
Well, right now there is, we are making steps to prepare for opening, but we don't know when that date will be. We have several different levels, as you mentioned, both at the state and federal level that we have to comply with. And we have it's open 7 days a week to the general public, and so we have all those different exhibits. We have a lot to consider in that process, but both for the Great Lakes Maritime Heritage Center as well as the Lady Michigan, we are working to make hopefully in this summer have them open and operating.
Yeah, because last year you had the mechanical issues, and so here we got that all fixed and ready to go. But I mean, it's a new world. No one knows what's going to happen next.
It's been a bit of a double whammy, but we know that the Lady Michigan looks better than she has than ever, and we're excited. We're working with the captain right now to make arrangements for him, and so I think we'll see the drawbridge in operation this summer.
Yay!
And we have lots of interest.
I love listening to the whistle and seeing the kids and everybody giggling and laughing and how much they enjoy it, and to have that in our own backyard is a pretty wonderful opportunity. So I'll be very happy when it's back again.
It does. There's something about that makes you feel like it's really summer.
Yes.
When you see the Lady Michigan out there.
And you've put the store online.
That's exciting. One of the things we've done, behind the scenes while we've been working remotely, has taken the Sanctuary store online, and so you can go and check out some of the inventory. It's an ongoing process. We'll be continuing to add new inventory to it. But if you go to thunderbayfriends.org and check out the store, you can see some of the items for sale.
Okay, and we saw the distressing news about the Riverfront Park. Where are we with that?
Well, we were just about to have a groundbreaking there, and when COVID, came about, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation called all of its community development block grants in, so to speak, to divert that money to help small businesses.
And rightfully so.
Yes, and obviously that's not something we could debate at all, because we understood, but it was really difficult news to receive because we had been working on that for a good year. The good news is that all of the community partners who have generously stepped up to help us with the match are still on board with us.
Okay.
And there are 3 other grant opportunities that we're pursuing actively right now. And so we feel hopeful that we will be able to continue with the project, but a little bit, in a different staging process. So those grants that we do have and those commitments that we do have already in place, we hope to be able to continue. The other thing we received from MEDC is that any of the matching funds that we had raised and any of the expenditures that we had put toward developing the schematics and everything for that could still be used toward a grant application with MEDC when they open up.
For like matching dollars.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
So when they open up economic development grants again, we will be able to use that So that part is not lost, which is pretty significant.
And you know, that's going to be such a wonderful addition, and obviously we're not going to have the big 4th of July festival that you do every year, but I hope maybe you'll do something later on in the year, like a fall festival.
Yes, that's what when we know that our visitors and our staff will be safe, we hope to, because this was our 20th anniversary.
Yes.
And so we're looking for some really creative ways to still celebrate this year. But as Jeff Gray likes to say, you know, as a person, your 21st birthday is always a bigger deal than your 20th. So
True.
maybe
That's true.
maybe our 21st will be where we really, you know, have a big celebration.
Okay, and all your volunteers will be anxious to start heading back too as soon as things are opened up.
Yes, it's, you know, trying to keep in touch with everybody, because there's a lot of questions that people have, and making sure that they're getting information. And we are still, one of the things we have been offering is some online activities.
Yes, the diving, yes,
Yeah,
tell us
and
about
so,
that.
We've had a couple webinars that have been incredibly well received. We've had hundreds of people participate in them. And so right now, working with our national headquarters with NOAA in Silver Springs and their professional film team, they have used 360 video technology, and so there are 4 dives from around the country, and one of those includes one of the shipwrecks we have that are just north of Thunder Bay Island. It's an 1894 freighter, and so people can go to if they go to sanctuaries.noaa.gov/VR for virtual reality, they can watch those videos, and there's everything from whales and sharks to coral reefs, and including a shipwreck from Lake Huron.
Yeah,
so they're really
awesome.
cool. But I also would follow our Facebook page and our website to catch more webinars coming up, because we're, you know, continuing to add more online content.
Well, you know, I know when you get up and running, you're going to need those volunteers, you're going to need the community support. So what's the best way for people to stay in touch with you right now?
Really, our Facebook page under, you know, Friends of Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary, but also our website, which is thunderbayfriends.org.
Okay.
And really, right now, one of the things, if people want to support the sanctuary, would be to make a generous donation to the Friends, because we are working very hard to keep. We have 20 seasonal staff that we, you know, have on board for the Friends, and we're working really hard to keep all of our employees on board and to have as much activity going on behind the scenes as possible. So without, you know, having regular ticket sales and things like that, those donations could be very helpful.
And we'll keep watching and listening, and we can't wait till things are safe enough for everyone to be able to reopen.
Yeah. And I do want to mention you'll see some construction pretty soon.
Ooh.
We are expanding the green roof deck.
Ooh.
And we've gotten approval to move forward with that, you know, with the COVID restrictions, because it is outdoor construction, and we have local construction company working on that, and we're really excited about that, because it will pretty much double the roof deck space, and so we'll be able to use it for larger events.
Yes.
It also has a big impact with stormwater management. We're very sensitive to being right on the river, and the green roof absorbs all that stormwater, and you'd be surprised at the impact that can have.
Yes. Thank you so very much. Tell everyone that we said hello, and tell everyone to stay safe, and we'll look forward to being back over there again in the open.
Oh, thank you. It's great to see you again,
You too.
Nancy.
Please stay tuned. I'll be right back with some information about the Michigan Brown Trout Festival following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm with Peggy Donikuski from the Michigan Brown Trout Festival. Hi, Peggy.
Hi, Nancy. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. And you know, with the whole social distancing thing, everybody's been calling and listening and watching the paper, watching the news here. And I saw the news story. We're going to have a fishing tournament.
Yes, it'll be strictly fishing. Yes.
Okay. So tell me what it's going to look like this year.
It's going to be the fenced-in area of the small tent.
Okay.
As normal. We usually have that fenced in anyway. A couple little vendors there. But yeah, the 16th we'll start early registration, and Friday you'll start registering for the tournaments, all within that small tent fenced-in area.
Okay.
Now, as of today, we can have 500 enter. And for the safety purposes, like everyone else is doing, we have one entrance, one exit.
Okay.
And so we'll have, you know, them enter and have a couple volunteers clicking there, the numbers, making sure. I'm having all the safety stuff there, but everybody will be registering for fishing, and fishermen and fisher ladies are very excited. They all know and hopefully respect each other's social distancing.
Now, will you have any of those tournaments that you always had within the tournament?
Yes, we have the Alpena Walleye Club is one of
Okay,
our clubs,
good.
one of our 10 clubs. And they have the walleye contest going on, and they have a, I'm sure it's up to, I think, a $10,000 first place
Wow.
prize payout, yep. And so, and that usually brings in a good crowd for us, so we appreciate them teaming that
Yes.
tournament up with us. And then we have, pretty sure the Bass Club will hold their tournament within our tournaments.
Okay.
And then we've got the super tournament and big brownies pending a little bit. The fishing committee is still working on that, whether we'll have big brownie this year or hold off and wait for that for next year.
Okay.
The Children's Kitty Classic, the PNC, will not take place this year.
Okay.
They feel that they're just going to wait until next year, hold off, keep it all safe, even though the kids do fish on the banks
Right.
and stuff. But they said they'll wait with everything else to come back next year.
Okay. Now you mentioned vendors. What kind of vendors will you have?
We have the Cousins Grill for sure. We have a new kettle corn company coming in, and perhaps a hot dog vendor.
Okay.
Haven't heard from the ice cream man yet.
Okay.
He's not. I'm not quite sure. I'm waiting for a return phone call. And
What about elephant ears?
Elephant Ears cannot make it this year.
Okay.
I think those young men are splitting up college. One's going here,
Oh.
one's going there. So yeah, their dad called yesterday and said they will not be here this year.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So tell me how people get more information about how to register to fish.
Registration is up on the website. We will have PayPal going this year, probably in a couple of days. That'll be ready to go. Register there. They always have to come in once they register online, up to the registration trailer in order to obtain the fishing number. And they're
Okay.
assigned as they come in. And so what we'll do is we will have a setup of tables outside, so we're not standing in line at the trailer.
Okay.
We'll have picnic tables set up and break up the alphabet a little bit so they each have their own tables to obtain their numbers. The fishing tournaments will be held under the small tent.
Okay.
We'll have some picnic tables spaced out there. And so both captains' meetings will take place under there. We have to have that tent. We debated many meetings on that, but we need it. We always have hot days.
Yes.
Unbearable, and you're waiting for cooler checks. And then we also have rain days. I think 1 or 2 rain days all the time where it's a downpour. So we'll have that to stand under while they're waiting for maybe perhaps weigh-ins. So far the hours will be 12 till I think 9 p.m.
Okay.
with the weigh scales. Weigh scales are usually a normal 9 to 9.
Okay.
But I think they're not going to start those till around noon.
Okay. And will there still be prizes for daily limits or daily catches and all those things?
They're trying to do the dailies, work that out. We're looking for a few more sponsorships on that
Okay.
to make sure we do that. But other than that, they're going to be, some of these tournaments will be based on participants,
Okay.
on the payouts. We'll try,
Makes
we always
sense.
promise, they were always been set in stone, but some we will post, and there's changes going to be made right up till probably the day of. So everyone is aware, if changes are made, it'll be posted at the trailer, you'll learn about it there. But so far it's going to be based on entries, and we feel we'll have a good crowd.
What about adult beverages?
Adult beverages will be served this year.
Okay.
We debated and debated, but we thought if we have to have the sodas, if we have to have the water there, then we'll serve the adult beverages also.
And your Zonta Club will be on hand again selling merchandise?
Yes, we have the t-shirts already printed, going to add a little information, maybe a little phrase with COVID on them with the year. And those will be out, we'll sell those. No raffle tickets this year.
Oh, wow.
As well as many other clubs weren't selling their raffle tickets
Right.
either. So we decided, no, we'll hold off on the raffle, but we'll use that kiosk and stuff to sell the t-shirts and any logo items that we've had from last year.
I think your fish should just wear a mask. That would say it all.
I know, that's what you'll be seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, thank you especially to the Zonta Club too, because this is money that they make selling apparel, and part of it goes to Brown Trout, but they also make money too, and then they turn it right back into the community.
Well, most of that now we have taken over as the Brown Trout.
Okay.
So we incur all those expenses
Okay.
and or losses if we don't sell them all at the end. But what the clubs do get is a portion of the net proceeds.
Okay.
Of the profit when it's done, and if there is a profit. So we made it pretty clear, we're trying to say, we hope there's a little bit for each club that is participating, because not all clubs are participating this year.
Right.
Some clubs feel they have an elderly client or member, and they want to keep them safe, and we said, that's fine. If you want to supply anybody else to help maybe set up, tear down, we've got it all. We think we have it pretty well
Okay.
all taken care of.
And so if anyone is interested in volunteering, though, what number, how
They
would
can call the Brown Trout phone.
Okay.
Same old number, 989-590-2480.
Okay.
I answer that phone. If not, leave me a message. We'll tell you what areas we would need help in, but it's going to be all different areas. It's not like you can set your hours.
Right.
So if we needed for coolers, perhaps to step out on the dock and be out on the dock taping coolers or whatever, it's going to be that. We were looking for a few secretarial types that
Okay.
could do help with the registration, because you do work with money and you do work with filling out different areas of a form. That's not real difficult. We train to what you need, but if you like secretarial type work, we've got a couple positions in that trailer, which we're going to try to have most of the registration taking place outside the trailer, so that you won't be in there and having to be masked.
Okay. And then what about entertainment? Will there be any entertainment?
Well, what we're trying to do is Alpena Buick GMC, Gene Skiba, stepped up to the plate this year to sponsor the small tent.
Okay.
And so he would really like to see a little bit of entertainment there. But we know we can't have the dancing. We will not have the dance floor. But we're going to try recorded music, and then perhaps a couple like guitars,
Okay, perfect.
acoustical type stuff perhaps. We're working on that right now. So a couple of days we might have, somebody sitting down there playing. Picnic tables will be spaced out to sit under and have a beverage, but we're trying our best. We'll see what maps out.
Well, thank you so much in the committee. I know that how important this tournament is to our community, and I mean, it's a big financial hit to a lot of people, but it is what it is. But thank you so much for bringing it back and doing what you can do. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, and we're hoping and letting everyone know, yes, we are aware of safety. We'll have the hand sanitizer. We always have the hand washing stations
Yes.
anyway, so we're going to be as careful as we can, and we hope everybody else respects the safety of others. Wear a mask or not, we have right now, we're outside activity, so you don't have to have it if you're socially distancing.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Nance, thank you.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Dr. Nick Brege, facilities director at ACC, and a man who wears many hats. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you.
So one of the things that you're dealing with and we're dealing with at the college is what's going to happen for fall. Are we going to have students face-to-face? If so, under what conditions? You're right in the thick of that. Why don't you lay out for the viewers where we are and some of the challenges you're facing?
Yeah, like you mentioned, it's a little uncertain right now. There's a lot of changes that happened, since now up to this point, and changes that'll likely happen between now and fall. So it's hard to anticipate what those changes are, but we're planning and preparing with the current guidance, and the biggest challenge or what we're planning for is social distancing, and obviously that takes space, and so we're looking at how we can accommodate students with social distancing to keep everyone safe in the classroom. But our plan is to have face-to-face classes to the greatest extent that we can. Both can do so safely and in accordance with any executive orders or guidelines from the CDC. So social distancing is one of those guidelines right now. So our classroom layout, it changes. More space between students, less small groups. So we're spreading out the classrooms, and also anticipating some remote classes. So where traditional face-to-face may not fit in a classroom, there's options for students to attend remotely. We're installing right now some technology into each of our classrooms that would extend the classroom into a remote setting. So if a student preferred to take a remote course, not attend classes on campus, they have an option to, with a webcam and a reliable internet connection, to attend a class remotely. It would be synchronous, meaning that the instructor is live with the students, so there's that interactive component to it.
Yeah.
Similar to a traditional face-to-face class session, but delivered remotely. So there's that option. There's also a 100% online option. There's a lot more offerings than we've had in the past for online classes, and that's all in response to keeping our students as safe as possible, and whatever their preference is, if they prefer to stay off campus or if they prefer to come on campus. I think we have options for everyone for this
Wonderful.
fall.
Yeah, that's a great synopsis, and it's a complicated mix. In the remote format that you were describing, it is possible to have students in a face-to-face classroom and taking the same course at the same time remotely.
Correct. As a matter of fact, that's one of the solutions that we're looking at to resolve the social distancing capacity issues. So as you spread students out, the room capacity decreases, and for those students who would like to attend remotely or would like to attend face-to-face, they have an option to have that live class session in either format. So if the room capacity would traditionally in the past be 30 students, but now we can only fit 15, and that section has 30 students in it, well, 15 can be live, the other 15 can dial in remote, and then we're also looking at scheduling possibly a rotation so that both groups have that face-to-face time.
That is so complicated and interesting, a challenge. So you and our VP for Instruction, Deb Bayer, and the faculty, Sarah Burt, people who are really tuned into this challenge are looking at it at a real granular level. How many sections do we have that would have 30 students in there? That's not every class. The social distancing piece is such an interesting concept, and I've seen you walking around campus with your tape measure, and it's sticking out 6 feet, which is the distance.
Yeah.
And it's surprising how that changes capacity.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, even in our theater, which typically would seat about 240 people, with the fixed seating arrangement and kind of the tightly, densely packed seating, it takes the capacity down to less than 50 at a 6-foot social distance. So it can change significantly the capacity of the room. But I think you know, with some furniture options and the technology that we're installing, I don't think there's going to be any issues with accommodating those sections that are, like you said, over 30. And there are a few, especially in our trade programs, but we have the space to where we can split the classes and even have everyone on campus, but maybe just next door in another room.
Right.
So that's another option we're looking at.
So technology and the webcam, the WebEx, the video conferencing investment we made maybe 3 years ago, we have really accelerated, and it is an important solution to this unexpected pandemic.
Absolutely, yeah. The WebEx part that has been part of our offering, our course offering for the last 2 or 3 years, that's been successful. A lot of positive feedback about that technology, and now it's expanded to the point where you know, it's part of our traditional face-to-face classes for this fall. So.
Yeah, I'm touring around right now visiting K-12s. That's 40% of our headcount is working with K-12s and generally delivering coursework using that technology into the individual K-12s. And they really value that technology. That complicates things on our end because they don't know. They have as many uncertainties or maybe more than we do. Busing, food, how do you handle all this and maintain social distancing? So there's just a lot of pieces that are moving. I have to, we got about a minute left, and I have to commend you. We were looking at Van Laer Hall, which is a project that we're in the middle of, and you're in the middle of that too. and trying to think through, should we apply social distancing to the size of the rooms? I mean, is this something that's going to last for years? Because we're at that point where some of the room dimensions still could be changed. How did we resolve that one?
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked to the faculty and the nursing faculty in particular, and they have a very intimate understanding of this problem with the nursing component of it, and those are their classrooms. And ultimately, we looked at that and said, you know, we have options to accommodate social distancing and still maintain our original design of smaller classrooms, and so we're going to continue with the original plan and not leave longer classrooms. So I think it's that solves that issue.
Very good. Nick, we're done with this segment. Thank you very much. You're in the middle of a very demanding, challenging, interesting time. Appreciate what you do for the college. Thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.